Jamie Romine here. I hope everyone's doing well. Today's title is Change, Grow, and Living. Why is that important? It is. It's very important. We'll share this quote. If we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we aren't really living. The reason I wanted to do a live about this quote tonight is I didn't want to type all this out. And I love talking to you guys. I love sharing this for you guys. And I've touched on change before. But when you feel the need to grow, you have to make a change. Nothing's going to change if you don't change. Then making the changes needed to move forward. As you're doing these changes, it does help you grow. Now, ways to grow. Find books you enjoy reading. You can change it up, but find books you enjoy reading, because think about working out. To get bigger muscles, you got to lift more weight. You can get in shape just by doing push-ups, just doing regular squats in your bedroom, push-ups, sit-ups, any of that stuff. You can stay in shape. But to grow with your muscle, you got to lift more weight. You can watch all the videos you want, listen to all the audios you want. Audios are much better, exactly, but when you read these books, or books of your choice, the way it exercises your brain is working your brain out. And that helps you grow. Why does that help you grow? You feel more confident about what you see, what you're reading. One thing that I always had that I didn't enjoy as a kid was the comprehension, not comprehending a lot of things. And here's the reason I just changed the way I said that, because I was about to say that I always had, because I always told myself I had the reading comprehension, but I didn't. I just didn't have the practice of training and growing my brain. I refused to do it as a younger. Now, as you're growing, and here's why you got to choose what books you enjoy. As you read books you enjoy, if you want to learn how to do personal growth, throw in some other books. I'm going to share some of these. The Greatest Miracle in the World. This is a great book. There is talk of God in there, but don't overthink about that being just about a religious thing, because this book is what is here to teach you how to be worthy for yourself. Come to realize how worthy you are. We are all unique, and we all have our purpose here. And you're worthy in your purpose. You just got to find that purpose. If you have, I'm happy for you. Alright. This book here, I will talk about this book all the time. The Magic by Rhonda Burns. The reason I say I'll talk about it all the time, it was the first book that I read that helped me start growing. And here's why. There's 28 days of exercises in there. Day 1 to me, it was the most important for me. They're all important, but what I had to do for the first exercise is what helped me learn to be grateful for what I already have. Not being ungrateful for what I don't have, what I think I need, or what I wish I had. Because no matter how you look at it, whether you look at it God or whether you want to look at it as the universe, you're not going to get more if you're not grateful for what you have. Speaking of that, think about how many people have so much less. When I say be grateful for everything you have, it matters not how small it is. Let me say it this way about that. You might think is your silverware or plasticware, whichever you use, is too small of a thing to be grateful for. But a lot of us do take that for granted. Look up how many countries eat with their fingers, because they have nothing like that. And most countries don't even have a lot of food. Be grateful for every little thing you have. I practice gratitude every morning. I have wrote down everything I'm grateful for. I've wrote down the most things I'm grateful for. I'm going to work on writing everything down again, going through the book again. And to me, it's important. Read it. Get back with me on the exercise. I would be happy to hear your growth. Share with me how much it's made you feel, how much better it's made you feel. If it doesn't change you, that's fine. Let's talk about that. You may need to read it again. You never know. I've read The Magic, I bet 5 times already. The book, The Greatest Miracle in the World, I shared. Go through that book. Listen to it. Learn your worth. But most importantly, there is an exercise in that book. And I want you to do that exercise. And when that exercise is done, hit me up. It's going to take a little longer to do that exercise. But hit me up. And then let's see where you're at. Now, the other books you saw me holding. Shackled to Free, Robert Hollis, with Laura Molson. Getting Gooder and Gooder. And how is that working? Rat Race to Freedom. It was Robert Hollis with Max Miller. A lot of you know Robert Hollis is my mentor within My Daily Choice, and he is my upline as well. But what's important is the mentor part. Not that it really matters to him, but I like this book better. But it's more because of the story in it. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is not only I want to give props to Robert, but if The Magic and The Greatest Miracle in the World, and there's a lot of self-help books out there. Another good one to read is Science of Getting Rich. I have it in the living room. But the reason I mentioned Robert's, how is that working is sometimes you need to break things up. Like, you can read someone's story, the book on their story, which is basically all novels or anything like that are, and it can help break that repetitive thing you're doing on the self-help books or the romantic books or whatever it is you're reading. Sometimes you need that break on something else. And it's not a very thick book. It's very thin. But there's some very, very key points in there, 127 pages. And not all those that I just saw were completely full. But change, growth, living. Why is that important? You got to have that change to have that growth, right? Once you start growing, you're going to feel like you're living more. Let me share this living story. Or, it's not really a story. Experiences. Have you ever gone to let's say an old folks home, a retirement home, to volunteer? Here's why I ask that. If you go and you help multiple people while you're there, ask them what is something they would truly love to change had they known. And so many, this is such a awful word in my book, but so many have regret. They wanted to go for certain things. They wanted to try to do certain things differently. And whether it be their parents or their friends or someone that just thought they needed not to change because they already made their decision what their career was going to be or anything like that, they didn't need to do it. And they didn't. And they regretted it. If you're not happy where you are, you need to make a change. You don't have to make a complete change right away. And here's why I say that. There's lots of us that have jobs that we thought we were going to really love, and we did, and then something happens, and we lose that love for that job. We start looking for another job. We find a job that we're going to make somewhat the same, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And we try to work with both at the same time. And then, or we'll go ahead and take this one, right? Most important, if you have the option, you work too, to make sure that's something you're going to enjoy before you leave the other one. Now, if you would listen to all these other folks, you wouldn't even go for that second one, right? You need to be living. Go for what you feels right for you. This is why I started doing marketing. I never thought marketing is right for me. I've always overlooked marketing as if you're trying to market somebody, then there's a lie there. And this is not true. This is not so. It's so much different than what I thought. There are a lot of folks that give it a bad name. Same with car salesmen, same with lawyers. There's a lot of ways people do things that give all of them a bad name. And it's really on us that we chose to look at it that way. Now, when I found the first group I found in marketing, I feel they had the right thing going for them as well. Things didn't work out with them, and that's fine. Majority of people never stick with the first person they start with on marketing. The majority. Now, I found My Daily Choice, and they are growing real big. They have so many things in place to make them grow more, and just the positive vibes I get from all the leaders. Even though a lot of them are way up here, the way some of us look, we put leaders on a pedestal, right? Even though some of them have grown so much in the company, they still private message us back. Robert being one of them. And if that interests you, please let me know. I will gladly send a video over from me to you that I got strictly from Robert. It's called Steps to Success, and the reason we share this video is no matter what I say to you, you're only going to believe as much as I say. But documentation beats conversation, and he is showing his documentation in that video. And then if you have any more questions or anything after that, send me a private message. Now, the living part. If you talk to those, I'm sorry I got off track. You talk to those older folks and they live in that regret, please don't do that. If you have the option to make a change, work on that change. Let me share this story too, because before I share the story, here's where a lot of folks get discouraged when they want to go for their goals. When we have a thought that we want to change, our first thought, because we've read it, we got to have a goal. And this is true, but partly true. You don't need one goal. You need multiple goals. Here's why. If you make this one big goal, the majority of us want to say, I want to make $1 million. You know how long that's going to take? You got to put a lot of things in place. Now, some people say they do it in record time, and some may do it. But they may not be doing it for the right reason. I don't know. I'm not worried about how long it's going to take me, because my journey is what's important. I'm sharing such positive, inspirational information to all you fine people that you're growing and learning with me. So mine will come. That's not what's important to me. What's important is teaching you. So this is why I say smaller goals. Because if you got that one big goal, let's say you're 1-2 years down the road, you haven't hit that goal. You've already been discouraged, and there's no telling how many times. You lost confidence that you can do this. So make all these small goals. I don't care if it's 10, 15, 20 goals. When you think back, you start knocking some of those goals, crossing them out, you grow confidence. because you're hitting goals. You start feeling better about yourself. You put out more positive vibes. And then that's when the universe or God will send you more stuff to be grateful for. But always practice the gratitude. Always adding goals, because you can never have too many goals. Speaking of goals, the story I wanted to share on goals. There's a boy on a horse. And they have this destination they got to hit. They can see that destination off over the woods. But they got to go through this thick part of the woods. As they come up to that thick part of the woods, it is extremely foggy. The boy looks down to the horse and says, I can't see our destination anymore. We can't go any further. I can't see it. The horse says, can you see one step ahead of you? The boy says, yes, I can see to make one step. So the horse says, let's make that one step. And each time we're going to be able to make one step. It takes one step, no matter if it's one step a day. You can reach them goals. You can reach that end game. You can get to where you need to be. Just don't overthink it, because it doesn't matter if you get to this edge of the woods and you see that you can't see where you need to be. Now you start thinking, it's going to take me forever to get there. I might as well give up. Why? What does it matter if it takes 1, 2, or 5 years? These are just numbers I'm throwing out there, okay? But what if it takes 5 years? What was going to happen anyway? Those 5 years are going to go by regardless. So you have the option to continue making the steps forward, or to stay right there where the hell you're at and not move forward. But here's what's going to happen if you don't. Nothing's going to change. You can't expect anything to happen differently if you're not making that change. You make that change, you step 1 foot at a time, you're going to get there. Keep moving forward. That's important. It's really important to me, because a lot of folks keep thinking about failure. You might find something that doesn't work for you, but that doesn't mean you failed. You might find something that's not going to work for you, and then there's another path you take and you find it. You might take a couple paths before you find it. But here's another thing. You might have something in mind and your path didn't work. But that don't mean change this. You might need a different path to that same end game. It's all about finding what works for you. We're all uniquely different. You got to find what works for you. I think I'm going to end it there. Just under 20 minutes. Better than I thought it would be. But either way, I'm always looking forward to your thoughts and comments. It helps. I enjoy it when I get messages back. It doesn't matter if you comment on this thread, whatever you want to call it. You can message me. That's fine as well. I have helped others privately through Messenger. I love to send a voice message because you will hear me authentically speaking to you. But it gives me great joy when I'm helping others, because sometimes it takes you hearing something from someone else before you realize what it is meant. That happened to me, I promise. Alright, remember, hit me up. I'm always looking forward to those thoughts and comments. But always remember this. Stay focused, stay positive, and never give up.